This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
All right, I'll call to order the April 1st Public Safety Building Committee meeting. It is 4:05 and it is being recorded. So I believe there's open time to the public. I believe I put that on the agenda, and seeing none, we'll move on to our only agenda item, which is the planning for the public forum. This is just one little thing that I haven't written down that I'd like to remember now, and it's very small. I did contact Jim Lumbra about this sign, and he's just about to change it. So we've got it secured. I told him I'd be back in touch with him this evening with text. Do we want to just mimic what is there down at the corner?
Some reinforcement to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so exactly the same. Okay, so that takes care of that. What do we want to move on to next? I think, oh yes, absolutely.
Just go ahead and not review any minutes for March 26th until our next meeting. You have that on the agenda.
I did, okay, so do we agree that we'll defer?
Just pass over them for tonight.
Yes, we'll defer till
We'll
another
do that for the
meeting.
next meeting.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you, because I don't have that in front of me. And so that, we are just on, there's nothing more on the agenda,
No,
is
plan
that?
for public forum and other business, I can't wait, that's all. Yeah.
Great.
Just to reinforce it.
Thank you, Charlie. Okay. So are we, I'll just, we don't have, I'll wait on the video until Chief Illingsworth gets here. I want to know whether we're ready to sign off on that or whether he already has. And we need to make arrangements to have, with them, to show it, right? eMedia will be showing it at the public forum. Will they be essentially running the projector and making sure that it works?
Good question. They'll be videoing the whole meeting, but I think we need to check on that.
Yeah.
Oftentimes we have control of the projector itself, I think. So I would think the clicker would be in HKT's hands for the projector to show the video, I think.
Okay.
But we should check that to be sure, yeah.
Are we meeting between now and the forum?
Well, that will that will be under schedule next meeting, I guess. I think let us see how far we get tonight to see whether it is important for us to meet again. I do believe we considered meeting briefly before on the evening of the forum beforehand. We do have next Monday as an option as well, so we'll decide that just before we adjourn. Okay, so there's the video. Let's, I guess, move, and Chief is in touch with John about the flyers. So the signboards. Oh, you have them up. Thank you, Scott.
Yeah.
Oh, let me see if I can.
I think someone
Zoom out.
Zoom link on the.
Did everyone have a chance to look at them before coming?
Yeah, right up in that top, where there's a plus right by the, right up in there somewhere. There you go.
Oh, you want to make it bigger?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I thought
It's just
smaller.
easier to see a little bit.
Oh, sorry. Let me make it bigger.
Yeah, perfect. Got it. So just a question, I just wanted to refresh our brains. So at one point we talked about the folks over at Valley Marketing printing something. I mean, there's a flyer, but were they going to print something on the signboard? I mean, this looks like we should let HKT do it,
yes.
right? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Right.
When it became, when our memories were refreshed that HKT had committed to this, we handed that task over to them, and so I'm hoping that they will bring them to the forum, and that we'll have to
Yeah.
confirm.
Once again, we'll confirm all that, but yeah, no, that's great. I think, yeah, from what I saw, this is interesting, so.
I mean, I remember we had an earlier conversation, they were gonna send us we were gonna print them. I know.
That's right.
And
Time's running short, I wonder.
Yeah, so maybe when the chief gets here, we'll confirm whatever we've told Valley Marketing, but I think this is,
We never got a price from Valley
Right, I didn't
Marketing.
think so
Then we
either.
have no budget from Valley Marketing.
yeah, okay. So, yeah, so this is what HKT is prepared for, one signboard, they've got 5, I think.
Yes, they did
boards,
put
right.
5
So let's see
boards.
what they got here, yeah. So,
Should I go back up?
yeah, just kind of.
This is number 1.
So, yeah. So, make sure all our dates are correct.
I don't know what that glitch is.
I'm not certain of those dates, but they must have
I
drawn
think
them.
they're, I think they're.
I'm sure
Yeah,
they're
those are-
accurate.
I don't know about the 1927 date.
That was in there somewhere, I think we found it somewhere, I think.
If I remember right, in 27, they stopped that, then it became a VFW or Foreign Wars type setting for a few years,
Okay.
and it sat empty. I remember the 46 only because I found that data years ago, and that
Yeah.
always made me laugh. That we're tearing it down in 46.
Yeah, so here we are, 80 years later.
Yeah.
But yeah, that looks, so that's a good top of the board, I guess, right?
Hmm.
And I thought the images were good.
Do we know physically how big the boards are gonna be when they're made up?
Typically 24 by 36.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
And they'll be on display like up by the
Typically
front of the room?
No easels.
Yeah, we need to be sure, well, that's one, as our checkoff list, we need to find some easels. So the school maybe
I have
has a couple, we've probably got a couple here at Town Hall.
and Charlie just said he had, how many easels do you have?
Maybe 5.
Oh, gee.
Well, that's what we need. Will
Okay.
you
Well, I
loan
used
them?
to set up for, because it's like last week, I was teaching in Orange, so I do have some stuff.
Okay.
Would you be willing to?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that, just trying to remember how many I have.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. I think we have a couple here at Town Hall.
Believe
and
it or
then-
not, those three-legged eagles walk.
Oh,
What are they?
really?
What are they?
Yeah.
They're just a standard, they're basically spring-loaded,
Uh-huh.
and they're tripod.
Okay.
The problem is, they walk, people walk off with them.
Yeah.
So when I try to remember how
Curious.
many I got, it's like,
Oh, okay.
I gotta look.
Well, I think in the past, we borrowed a couple from the school if we had to, but.
I think between all of us, we have.
We should have enough, but as we just sort of make a checklist, so what do we need to bring ourselves that night? You know, that's, just be sure we've got tripods.
And I'm gonna probably have to hand them to Ian or to the fire chief, because
Yeah,
I have a 4 o'clock meeting in another town that
Okay.
night. So I'll get here, but
yeah.
I won't be here for setup.
Okay.
Now, just looking at the photos, so that second one, that mobile living quarters, does that tell us what we need to know there? I wasn't quite sure
Yeah, I
about that
wasn't
photo.
quite sure, I mean, remember in the video, they had some interior shots of
Yeah.
the trailer where,
And there's one here.
yeah,
So
the
there's
bunk room.
The bunk room.
Right, that's a small bedroom, yeah.
Yeah,
If I was gonna say something about the mobile living quarters,
Do we want to have the picture of the medical closet with all the supplies in there,
that's in the living quarters? Or,
where it's all packed in there?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean,
Well, certainly we can, we would supply them, or if they already have it, we need to request that they
Right.
substitute
she
it.
took, the first tour they did, they took a bunch of pictures. So these are their pictures.
yeah.
Oh, these are
I mean,
theirs.
do we want more of the station itself, like the office ceiling, or?
Well, let's go through it and see, but out of this, the first couple photos, that's the only one that struck me that if I looked at it, it's like, well, so what am I really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's labeled, but
I think a
on
better
the
picture.
living quarters, just up above Scott's, sorry, I think it had to capture, yeah.
Yeah.
Mobile living quarters, so inadequate door clearance, that's clear.
But the other one, I think taking a picture on top of the hill looking down, showing the station and that little trailer up against it would be more
Yeah.
visual than that.
Yeah.
That doesn't give us,
Yeah, so I think in terms of just a question mark, if we make a list, then we might want to replace that would be a suggestion to just find something better for, living quarters fine, but find something that shows it better than that one, I think, would be my thought.
Let's see, that's
That could be a
mobile.
trailer in your view, I didn't know what to say.
Yeah, it doesn't really tell me much as a,
that's what I'm saying, if you take it from the hillside looking down,
Well, we would have to have a volunteer take that photo and get it to them as soon
Well,
as
that's fine.
possible.
well, taking pictures easy enough.
Sure.
You can
Well,
look at
yeah, but it just has to be done. Well, why don't we get through, let's
Yeah,
go
let's go
through
through
all
them
the images and then
Yeah.
decide on that.
yeah, so just go back down and see, so those are covered, and then, so the left one, what did they label that? Unsafe firefighter circulation, okay.
By circulation, do we mean traffic or?
Yeah, that's what I
Um,
think they mean
Movement.
movement.
Um,
Yeah, movement would be a better word, wouldn't it?
Or maneuverability.
Yeah, something. Yeah, that might be, it's a long word, but it might work.
How do we want to improve that?
Traffic flow?
Yeah, let's see, firefighter traffic flow. That's gonna fill up that whole section.
Yeah.
Do you have a recommendation, Chief? For language?
Well, if you're gonna change the picture, you could have it, on the back of the bay where engine 4 is right up against the, pretty much right up against the lockers and,
Well, that photo itself isn't too bad, unless we decide we want to change it out. But-
yeah, that's fine.
But I was just commenting more on the labeling that they had there, that,
Mhm.
But yeah, you're right. There's a couple
Limited.
that were in the video that probably show
So a lot more.
a little
Right.
tighter even. I don't know.
Limited access or something.
Yeah.
Let's have a consensus on how it should change. Well, first of all,
The access of emergency circulation.
Unsafe firefighter access to equipment or something like that?
I guess it tells the same story.
How about just simply unsafe?
Yeah.
Strike everything else and just say unsafe.
Hmm.
And let them draw their own conclusion.
well,
Yeah.
or do we need to be so particular? I guess that would be my question. Do we need to spend time kind of
Well,
nickel
you're gonna have the
and
video,
diming it?
so
Mm-hmm.
people are probably just gonna look at these for a few seconds and
Yeah.
Yeah.
walk by.
Hello, Chief. You look leery-eyed. You must be
No, I don't.
weary.
No, we just don't have a lot of time, that's all.
Right. So may I recommend that we just sort of give them an honest overview and not try to make a lot of detailed changes so that, unless you think it's really important.
Only one comment I have, we have 4 pictures of the outside front of the garage. Is that important to show 4 times? Same
Well,
picture.
that's that old,
Opportunity to show sagging ceiling.
yeah.
Okay, so we'd like the sagging ceiling included?
You can probably just do 6 photos right here instead of the old-fashioned ones.
Yeah, the old one at
Yeah,
the
just
top that
replace that.
doesn't have the, they both show the same thing, they can just
You could take
take
out
the top one
take
off.
one of those two out.
Yeah.
Okay, so remove one historic photo.
Right.
Top one.
Exterior.
Yeah.
And replace it with the ceiling, the sagging, a sagging ceiling photo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And you want, someone is going to provide the chief and me with a different photo of,
You, for your notes, to just simply take them and you can write right on.
thank you. Yeah. Charlie, thank you very much. Okay, so we're striking this. Well, they would move this.
Yeah, so we're gonna try and change out the photo of the trailer for something better, yeah.
Okay, exchange, so who will take a photo of that and get it to the chief and me?
Is a phone photo good enough?
Oh,
I
the
think
one I got on my belt is like, it even's got 30 power zoom on it.
Okay, let's,
I can, why don't if I'm gonna send it, why don't I just take it? It
Yeah.
would just be easier, one less step. And I
Great.
could just take the
Great.
photo.
And,
And we like the bump one there too? That's all that's on that page, right?
yeah, well, still, there are two, we've got this, and then we've got this. This seems like an unnecessary or a redundancy. Also, it shows 2 doors rather than all 4.
Yeah, probably get rid of that one.
And
I think
Make space.
you probably just fit in like this, 6 photos like that.
Oh, just do 6 photos? Yeah, that would be, so six photos altogether, striking 1 historic photo, and then they would put in 2 more of this same size.
Yeah. I wonder how far away are the people gonna be viewing these boards?
People are gonna walk up.
You walk up.
Okay.
So they're gonna be, as people come in and sit down, we'll have them in the back of the room or something, and people hang around and look at the boards and read them, and then, that would be the intent anyway. But again, as we're trying to talk about, either unsafe or crowded conditions, that's what we're trying to achieve with this board, right? So,
But the right-hand column of 3 smaller photos doesn't do much for that.
I agree.
not really, yeah.
And we do
Keep
have...
one of them, the one with the people in the middle or something.
Yes,
maybe.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, both of them, I think, I can't tell really the difference. Both of them have the people in them.
Well, one of them's showing where the doors are.
Where the doors-
middle one.
Yeah.
Okay, so, yes, so we'll increase that in size to be similar to this and add falling ceiling tiles.
That works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Done?
Which one are you keeping then?
One of the middle historic photo.
That one you're keeping, the top historic.
We're striking.
Striking, okay.
Yep. And Charlie has given me prints of
Okay.
them, so, and I'm editing.
All right, I'm kind of doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Can I just get a
Oh,
page
you
for a
have
second?
those too, great.
I'm not sure that the bunk room shows me anything problematic.
Yeah, it's kind of brand, looks new.
Looks kind of okay to me. What's wrong with
Yeah,
it?
it looks like a bunk room.
I mean, it doesn't tell me anything that I'd want to change necessarily. I mean, maybe it's small, but,
Yeah, I would think the new building's gonna be about the same size anyway,
yeah.
right?
So I'm wondering, go ahead, John. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say that room where the chief, the ceiling is kind of damp and
Yeah.
falling down.
That
Instead of that one?
That and maybe the medicine cabinet thing.
Yeah, you said that these medical storage area.
Right, that back room, yeah.
Yeah.
I think those would show more crowded conditions than that.
Okay, so strike the dorm room and put in medical cabinet.
Medical room.
Storage or whatever it is.
Do we have a photo of that?
I can get one.
It's in the video for sure, but yeah, if you can take a separate one, that would be great.
Yeah.
So the medical supply room and the falling ceiling tiles.
I'll have to do all this tomorrow. I'm leaving Wednesday for
I can,
some time
I can
off.
take them tonight and send them to you.
All right.
And Chief, I can get this information to HKT if you're crunched for time.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, moving on to existing conditions of police.
I don't like that last sentence, the building is significant liability for the county. I don't think we need to say that.
I don't think so either. No, I don't like that either, especially since we're trying to keep it from becoming a liability by doing some repair work.
Jumping around, they have the garage labeled as a Sally Port, and it's not, is that correct?
With a 5-year-old emergency laceration to the head after falling. Timeout 15-25.
Chief, this is a question for you.
I'm sorry. I was just, I came over the radio.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah,
So
I missed that.
Mark questioned whether on the third one in from the right on the bottom line should be named garage rather than Sally Port.
Yes, yes, that is not a Sally Port, yeah.
We have two Sally Port
Yes, yeah.
photos there.
I believe in the video you said that people had to be taken out of the cruiser on the outside of the building, not in
Yes,
the garage.
That's correct. yeah.
I learned something from the video.
Scott, could you make a couple of those photos, just to zoom in on a couple of the photos and individually and just see what we're seeing here? They didn't label each photo, right? Or they did? Okay.
Yeah, each photo is
So now dispatch is no longer there, so do we want that?
Yeah, that might make us confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
We could, I guess it would be the lobby, the reception now, but
reception.
I would just take it out completely. Don't mention it.
Let's see what else they got here.
You mean take the photo out? And the kitchenette?
I think we can keep the kitchenette in there, but maybe not dispatch, because that might draw some questions as to why there's dispatch photos when there's no
Right,
dispatch
yeah.
anymore.
So take out the very top one, Ian, or?
Take out the top one and then just remove dispatch kitchenette and just put kitchenette. And that is not the EOC either, so
Right.
kitchenette, just kitchenette.
And
There's no label under well, a couple of them.
Is it one down right, is that the evidence room?
That is the evidence room, yes.
okay,
All the
so-
way to the one up to the right.
Yeah, it's almost like we got too many photos in here, I think.
Right here.
That's the evidence room there,
So the evidence room doesn't have a label on it,
yeah.
right?
Correct.
That's this, which
On the far
one?
right, yeah.
This
That
one?
That's the evidence room, yes.
There's no caption on that one, is there?
No.
No.
But then the one up on, just above it too, the large one that is not labeled.
The communication.
That would be considered the operations room.
Oh.
And then just below it, that tiny little square photo.
I think that's a powerful photo where to put it.
That would be just a close-up of what's in the operations room, but also where it says briefing and equipment. So I think what they did was they labeled briefing and equipment rooms that's an equipment room, obviously, and then the two right above that is what we consider, I guess, a briefing room. It's our operations room, but it's also our briefing room. So when you, the flashlights and the one with the mailboxes and all the radios on the right, if you were to go up just a little bit, Scott, right there, that is what we consider the operations or briefing room.
Okay.
Down below, now you can see where that's where those, so it's just those flashlights, it's just a highlighted area of that room. And that right there is the equipment room.
So just some labeling changes there. You want to leave that small one with the flashlights there?
I think we should, I think it
That's
should
a
show.
powerful photo, I think.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of,
I do think everything needs to be labeled, because you wouldn't necessarily
Yeah.
know
right.
that that was from the operations room. So,
So that's more the tangled charging station? Like, I don't know what you call it.
Fire
It
hazard.
just goes to show you the lack of, the infrastructure, within the building.
so what would that be called? Charging station?
Yes, fire hazard, something.
Usually room.
Inappropriate
Yeah.
charging station or something like that?
Or inadequate, how do you want that to go?
Something like
to?
that?
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm trying to show the negative side of things. A bit.
It is a charging station, it's where you charge the flashlights and the radio, so it is considered a charging station area.
Do you want to qualify it with an adjective as inadequate or?
Sure, yeah, that works.
So the one right below that is the equipment room? as well?
That's the equipment room, yes.
So that's just a change of label on that one.
So we strike briefing?
Right.
Right, that's the equipment. Now, the only thing is, I think what happens here, they probably labeled it that way because they didn't have room to label it directly underneath it. So, for instance, the briefing room is, they don't have space to label it the way it's orientated. So where you have that oversized picture of the mailboxes and the charging station a little bit above, they don't have I don't know if they have space to label
So
it.
they could make that smaller though, Ian, and
Yeah.
put in the charging station right to the right of it.
Mhm.
You know, they can make that big photo, 2/3 of that, and still have room to fit in that square, all in
Right,
one kind of
right,
area
yes,
there.
yeah.
So it's just a placement area, I think they could maneuver that.
When they print these, are they overnight shipping them to us?
Or they bring
Bring
them.
them to the,
The forum, I think they hand deliver them.
Yeah, and I think that would work if you could combine those two photos in that space. And then the one on the meeting, or the training area or whatever, I mean, that's a pretty good training room or whatever. And the shared office space, so those, so Ian, you wanted to keep the kitchenette, but again, just change the label.
Yes, just a kitchenette.
Right. And then keep the shared office space?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Well, what do you think about the meeting room?
No, it's our meeting, it's a training room, really, not a meeting room, but
Yeah.
a training room.
Training room?
Yeah. And the public counter all the way to the bottom, we are go to, all the way to the right. That's no longer there because we have a new window that's put in there, so we could I'll just have them with it, I'll put a new picture with lobby. Just labeled lobby.
And what about that communication one to the left of it? I can't really tell what that is from a distance.
It's like our IT, that's where all of our servers are and communication IT is. I think it's a good, it shows how cramped it is, the working space in there. You can see, to
Yeah.
keep it cool, we actually have a window
Yeah.
AC unit.
So you might call it the IT room or something, rather than communication?
Sure, yeah.
Because that may not be self-evident, maybe?
Yep. I agree.
And the far left, the one is what? That's in the side,
That's the cell.
no, okay, the next one, the second one, sorry.
Well, both of them
That's the quote-unquote Sally port?
are.
The garage.
Yeah, that's just the garage, that's just the tight quarters.
Seems like we'd only need one of the two. Do we need both of those photos?
Yeah, I'd get rid of the one of them. I'd keep the garage one, but not the one with the,
I'm trying to think of other photos that you had in the video that were powerful. That evidence locker one, right, is not in there, is it?
It is. The evidence locker is,
It's up here.
Oh, that's there.
That's the
okay.
evidence locker.
That's it, okay. What about the booking room or anything?
The booking room, there isn't a picture of the booking room. Maybe we should put that instead of that
Pick out one of the
first.
salad port.
Yeah.
Put a booking one there.
Yes.
And which of those photos are you striking of the garage?
I think I would rather strike the one on the left, because I think this will show that you can't, how tight the quarters are, and you can't take a detainee out of the car within the garage.
So
keep the
keeping
one
the one on the right?
Right.
Okay. And so the other becomes booking.
Yeah. And then the only other thing I was thinking is, I mean, I don't know, I guess it's the same. The historical photo down below, I think that has significance as to how old this building really is.
Yeah.
It's not really in a prevalent place.
Yeah,
I wonder if, we said we were gonna remove the dispatch center, right?
yeah.
I wonder if we could move that up top more.
Well, they could kind of parallel it with the fire one, where we're gonna keep that one historical photo of the fire station, and however they have the placement of that, maybe they could do a similar layout for the police page. I agree, they should move up higher rather than be at the very bottom. And they can play around with some layout, I think, and especially if we eliminate a photo or two, they'll give them a little more space. Yeah, okay.
And label that 1904 historic, or original town hall 1904.
Sure.
Well, that changed that significantly, so. Okay. On to site evaluation.
Just first glance, it's a little confusing to look at the overall board. Draw you in. Board.
Do you want to change that now to the 125 College Highway, or leave it at 0?
oh, change it to 125. That way people
Yeah.
find it.
Yeah, so we're in the narrative too.
Oh, thank you, okay. Yep, and they had said that they were gonna change that, but they have overlooked this, so.
So what are all the maps underneath it, then? That's,
No, is Site 3, 79 Clark Avenue, is that correct? When we were looking at the entire green parcel there, I'm not sure what's highlighted on that. We weren't looking at that entire
no,
green area.
No,
We were looking at the parcel adjacent to
Marvin
the
Keystone.
Marvin Keystone.
Right.
So that's a confusing picture to me.
Yeah,
And then the other sites aren't highlighted. They're just pointed to.
right.
I mean, I highlight a little bit in red, but I think they should be highlighted in green as well, so that we know what parcel we're looking at.
Is it all one parcel? Going right around Marvin Keystone?
One is, but they included,
What they've got is the 3 different sites that were
Right.
considered.
Yeah, but it's 79 Clark Street go right around Marvin Keystone?
I don't think so.
I don't think 79, yes, it does. Because they're gonna break it up. Originally, I
Yeah,
think
that's-
it was like 1.7 million they were offering it, and that was for all the acreage. But I don't believe that one to the left is theirs. I don't believe,
Right.
I don't believe that is, I think that's where the COA is.
Senior
Yeah.
centers go.
This is,
That'd be 89.
this right here is all,
Yeah, but all the stuff on the lower right-hand side is not.
Because the Marvin Keystone property, wasn't that like 12 acres or something?
it was 12 acres, yeah.
Yeah, they got the wrong site highlighted.
So that shouldn't, that photo's very confusing. I don't know that I,
I just don't know what they have for access for photos, because something tells me they didn't fill that
They
in.
really should have something like that. Because you can actually see that dog-leg piece of land that's been around. That highlighting is totally wrong.
That's totally wrong, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
totally wrong.
I don't know if that's even gonna be a helpful,
If it was a proper one was highlighted, it would make sense, but it's improperly highlighted.
Right.
yeah, because, yeah, that's 79 and 89 together, so it's not,
Yeah, it's got, and all the areas to the east, southeast are not included in a parcel. So it just needs to be clarified.
Well, it is in a parcel, but that's grossly overstated.
Yeah.
I can show you the parcel. There's actually frontage on that parcel, see that parcel? And it actually connects and goes right around.
Yeah, I agree.
But that is grossly wrong.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, this, what they have highlighted in red is correct.
Yeah,
They just need to remove all the highlights outside of the red border.
yeah, 'cause it doesn't depict.
and make the red highlight a lot darker.
Yeah, make the red
Yeah.
highlights darker and then take the highlight outside of it away.
Yeah,
And then they can do the same thing with the other 2 photos. They need to highlight or increase the red line, one of the 2, so that the properties pop out. I mean, if they want to take the green off altogether and just put a real heavy red line around that,
Yeah.
that would work.
that would be even
That'd be
easier to
simple.
see on
And
both
then
of
you can
those.
see underneath it.
On site 2 and site 3
Yeah, I
there.
just say, just put a heavy,
that red line a lot
heavy,
more
heavy red
distinct.
border around all 3
Yeah, the
parcels.
property line, just make that more distinct because that's very confusing for sure.
Will they have the capabilities to do that, though?
Should.
You know what they
Is that-
highlighted? They highlighted high priority habitat area.
Yeah.
So they took that
That's
from...
what they highlighted, they need to turn that off.
I think they took that from an existing map, though, that,
Yeah, but that slash is high up, the
Right.
priority habitat area.
right.
They need to take that off.
They just have to shut that layer
Shut that
off.
layer
Yeah,
off,
yeah.
yeah.
So that's easy. Shut that letter off.
All you gotta do is go to Mass Mapper.
Yeah, it's
That's
easy.
it.
Yeah, it's just simple to do.
Take a layer out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then just see if that red line can be a little bit bolder, just a wider line, thicker line,
Yeah,
maybe,
yeah, and I think that's fine, they just highlighted the line,
yeah.
increase the line.
So the outline on 79 Clark is accurate or it's not
The
accurate?
red line is accurate.
Okay.
The green is a habitat, which I think it makes it confusing.
Okay,
They should just take the green out of that photo,
Yeah.
I think all
Turn
together.
that habitat layer off.
Just make it a dark red border in terms of where the property line is. On both of those, or on all of them.
All three, yes.
Yeah.
we good with that?
I think so.
No.
No?
The Zero College Highway is the same situation. They're showing these poles, the preliminary subdivision road, they're showing
All kinds of stuff that don't exist.
yeah, and even being very familiar with it, I'm still confused as to what parcel we're looking at here.
Well, the site one there is showing just the landlocked parcel of the donated, potential donated property, right? But it's also got the entrance road on the right-hand side.
Yeah, that's the proposed subdivision.
Proposed
And it
subdivision.
doesn't show there are proposed access to Route,
That's in site two, though. Or no? No, it's not.
Mm-mm. Site 2 is,
Where'd it go? I thought I saw it. I guess it's in the selected site one.
yes.
Yeah, there's almost too many maps on this page to be, it's confusing. Here, what do we want to have here?
I think it's important to show the three sites and why
Yeah, I
we
think
selected
that's-
what we did.
It just needs to be clear and simple. You know, and they have soils labeled on one, they don't have it on the other.
Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe it's just a matter of turning off a lot of their layers on their mapping there.
Yeah, the wetland protection zones showing, and wetlands on some, not on others. Yeah, they just did real poor graphics.
All right, so you want them to make it consistent with what they're showing and simplify?
Yeah.
And then for the narrative on this page, given that this is all just talking about the different sites and properties, I don't know if I put that last bullet about 2 building plan options, if that belongs on this page, because we're not at building plan, we're just talking about
Yeah.
Site selection.
Take that
site
out.
selection here,
Yeah.
more or less. I'd almost move that bullet to another slide.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oops. Oh, I did, oh, sorry. Sorry. Yikes. Hang on.
Right, Scott, you try.
There must be one that got
Mark, the
right on the
tide's
table.
coming in.
What's it?
The tide's coming in.
I still go the devotion calendar. So I don't know how to access it.
Oh, okay, let me just, I'll show you.
You're right.
Maybe it's into the other one.
I think that's happened, not just with you, it's happened with a lot of people. Because when they do this stuff, like they get two pop up now, I think when people go like this, so.
Doesn't absorb anything.
It's just bullshit now.
Try that again.
Yeah, it is grade school.
Good job.
So
Anyway,
we'll move that last bullet point of 2 building plan options to this of site plan and floor plan?
Yeah, because I think, well, looking to this board, they will have no clue what it is.
Right.
I mean, that's part good for discussion.
So, okay.
Yeah, I think that's where that fits. So I'm just
Mhm.
on
Yeah.
board 4.
Right.
I guess. Now, we sort of know what this is, but I think they also have to label, maybe it's more visible than I think it is, but the pink being fire station, fire EMS, and the purple being police, and, I mean, it
Yeah.
seems like they need a legend
A legend,
right
right.
under that big pink square there.
Yeah.
They need to put a legend as to what those colors are. Green is community meeting, or whatever it is.
Common territory.
Something. So, yeah, right in that little spot, under the big red square there, pink square, they need to put a legend of what the 3 colors are. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's not that evident.
Yeah, I mean, they don't need the mechanical or fire protection or service lines.
Yeah.
Just the pink and the green and the blue.
Yeah. Just to label what those are. Would be my thought.
Do you think that on the site plan, it would be good to identify College Highway to show that?
I think so, yes.
Yeah.
We know it is because we're so.
True. Even though we said preferred site or whatever on the selected site on the previous one, let's just reiterate it.
Yeah.
Right, and these boards are gonna be spread out a little bit, so you may forget what you looked at. If you don't go in order,
Yeah.
you may not even know what you're looking at, right?
Right.
So
Good point for Samantha.
Just an arrow saying
So I
College
just-
Highway.
I just put up, added the title up there to say whatever number we want to use right now. Good point.
I think that word he loves food, but I think it's good.
All right. Then we have what?
Then we have the final one of the
The building.
proposed building.
I think that would.
I don't think there's much to change there.
No. I think it's. I think that's good.
Yep.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Good in my opinion, too.
Did we, I'll ask one question, it's just me, devil's advocate. That wonderful picture we saw of their proposed one that we all went ooh and on, with all the vaulted roofs and whatever, do we want to show or talk about, or will they in their presentation maybe, because I didn't get through their
I
PowerPoint
didn't
yet.
either.
It feels like we ought to be talking about how we went from that roofing and sort of gabled whatever kind of style to a flat roof. That's my only thought.
Amy indicated that they would.
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Excuse me. Go ahead.
No, in her presentation to us last time, she mentioned quickly about going through and discussing that we did not use the building with one of.
They did put it in their presentation.
Okay, all right,
There it is,
okay, fine,
their proposed presentation for the 10th.
yeah. Yeah.
I think it's better to, not to include it here because that could be
Which would be-
confusing.
The only option now should be.
So I think that this is a handsome board in and of itself.
Sounds good.
Okay. I guess, I think we have revised those sufficiently. Chief, do you think you will contact them, or would you like me to regarding this?
No, I can contact them, I might just need your notes maybe as well. I think I took sufficient notes on this. I can reach out to them as well. I'm gonna I'll take some photos. So I'll take care of this.
Thank you. All right, so that gets through, though, oh, and would you please, Chief, confirm that they will be bringing the boards themselves? Because we did discuss at one time that they would just send us the image, the designs, and we'd have them printed.
All right.
But we want them to bring the signboards themselves and to the public forum. Just confirm that that will be the case.
We think they can do a better job than we can. Put it in Congress.
I'm sure they have the facility just to get it taken care of, and it wouldn't.
I'm sure they do these all the time.
Yeah. Okay, now, so moving forward, Chief, we waited for you to discuss the video. Have you signed off on the video with Jackson? Where does that stand?
So he reached out, I sent something out to the people earlier. As far as the TikTok one, I sent something out relative to that to the group a little bit later, but he said he can do that. One thing with the video, he said that he must have watched one of our meetings, and in the email he made reference to some comments about it being too long, and he suggested if he can split up the fire and the police video, make it 2 videos. So that's something that we need to decide if we want, or if you want to just have one video.
You're gonna show them both at the same time, I assume.
I vote for one video to show both departments, but
5-minute intermission.
But I'm trying to remember what the transition was between you and Rich.
It was
There was
Denise saying, let's go look at the fire
Right,
department.
it wasn't Barry, it was Denise.
Yes.
saying,
Yeah.
I'm heading over to the fire station
Yes.
now or something.
Right.
So-
yeah, she led the tour. I thought it was very nicely directed.
So we have to determine that, and if that's what we're gonna do, then we can say that's all good.
Could you explain, go back to the TikTok
Yes.
reference you
So,
made?
yes,
I
let me-
didn't understand that.
Let me get back to what he gave me. So in the TikTok, he said that he can do a TikTok or a shortened version of that for social media purposes that we can just put on social media. And he left an outline here, and it's a pretty quick duration of 1 minute. And I didn't make photocopies of this, but I can pass this around. Basically, there's voiceovers, video clip, voiceover, video clips, and just real quick video clips. I think the video clip starts with outside of both buildings, the town logo graphic of the Public Safety Building Committee that he'll make. That's 5 to 10 seconds. Then there's a voiceover saying, starting the tour, Denise Riggs volunteered to do a walkthrough of the police department station with myself. I think it'd be easier if I just kind of let people review this, or I could go make the photocopy real quick. Okay. But he can shorten that video to 1 minute for a social media platform.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's it.
And you'd put it in some form, not everybody has TikTok, so you'd have to put it in something that's just a short video that anybody can access, right? I mean, yeah, like just a YouTube video would be fine, rather than,
I think the way I described it was a social media platform video, but I'm sure he can. I just don't know. I've never
Yeah.
made a
like, I don't know,
TikTok or
between TikTok
Instagram
and
video.
Instagram or whatever else. I mean, people are pretty familiar with YouTube and whatever.
Are we gonna put that up on YouTube and then put a link onto it so they can share it on Facebook and town website and that?
Yeah, I mean, that would be one way to do it, for sure.
Certainly for the millennial group, Instagram and TikTok would be
Yeah.
probably more of a public, of an outreach versus
Yeah.
YouTube.
I mean, do we have to manage those accounts? I don't think we have anything except a Facebook account
You know.
for the official town. Anything?
I will, I'll talk to him more about it, but if we're okay with this platform, at least I can tell him to go with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because just click on East Hampton Media's YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exactly where they're directing them to, so that would be ideal. I think the other thing we talked about at some point was having that QR code on there, on the video or someplace, so that people can click on their cameras and...
The handout?
It would be on the handout.
On the handout, okay. Yeah, okay,
So you can see what his goal is. He just describes his goal right there.
yeah.
So it's basically to promote the full video.
Yeah, yeah, so people can have a little taste of it and then click on something to get into the full video, right? I think that works. Just a matter of, where they can actually put it, so yeah. Because we can certainly link it to various other
Trust
sites.
his editing ability.
I think we should.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'm not qualified to do editing.
And he's done a great job, so let's just let him be efficient, make the small, the shortened version and sign off on it, so we're set. And then we need, so how did, we spoke of this briefly, we have to make arrangements for it to be shown at the public forum, and I don't, Scott, will you have that capacity?
We have a projector at the police department, so we can bring a projector. We also have a screen. It's not, well, I think
They had a
Do they have a pull-down screen
on
there?
stage, I think there.
I think actually we
For the-
used,
for
I
the
think you
public.
may have used my projector for one of your
Or
meetings.
for the Greenway one, maybe?
One of them you may have used my
Yeah.
projector. So we have a projector. So yes, we can do it through the computer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm making a list of
Permanent
things.
projector?
They don't have, not in the cafeteria, they don't have a permanent projector.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one thing you will provide that evening and we'll get
We'll get-
set up
yeah.
before 7.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have to, I think I'm gonna have to get there really early. Just get set up.
Because I think basically the, HKT will control
Mhm.
the slideshow in terms of their presentation,
Right.
right? So,
Ian, if you get stuck and your PowerPoint projector doesn't work, I have one also.
Okay, all right.
You might just, if you wouldn't mind, just bring it as a backup.
I am very accustomed to loading up the back of my car with backup.
yeah. So that, and we already talked about having enough easels for the signboards. We need to bring those.
We have enough?
We've got a couple here, and Charlie said he's also
I think
got
I
some.
have at least one.
Yeah.
At least one. I must have 4.
We can gather, we need 5.
So
for
there's,
sure.
we'll get there.
Yeah. What else do we need for that? We'll have the mic, East Hampton Media will set up the mics.
We'll need some, I think we mentioned kind of almost like some anonymous questions that they can put in a box that we can answer.
Yeah, I've got
Right.
pens and paper,
All right.
so where do we, can we use the pen supply that is used in the voting room? Is that, or pencil?
I'm sure we can find some pens around here somewhere, and some pieces of paper, yeah, little pieces of paper and stuff.
No, okay. Do we want to buy some note cards or just use?
I have some at the station that we can use that.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
somewhere in my cabinet, I think I can get those.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, so.
So we just need something that looks like a box that people put in, whether it's a question box or a suggestion box or whatever we want to call it. Question box?
Question box, yeah. So will we invite people to ask their questions, and if they'd rather not ask them directly, they can put their questions into this box? Okay.
That tends to be my experience working with this community, is that you can ask people to come up, and they'll come up to the mic once we open it up for question and answer. Those that are comfortable coming up and saying something will, but I think you have to always have that option of people that don't want to speak in public, but they will have a burning question, but you gotta give them an option to put it somewhere. So I
Are they
think
brave enough to walk to the box? Because that
they can put it in at
identifies.
any time.
Right, okay.
Yeah, they don't have to.
We could maybe set up a table as they're walking towards their seats and
Yeah,
have it
towards
there,
or after,
you know.
I mean, whatever, I mean, and so those are the kinds of questions that,
And what do we do with those questions?
well, they come back with, I mean, there's a good question. So there's, I mean, we could even have a mini, so let's look at it this way. You're gonna have a 25-minute video-ish, another 25 to 30 minutes with these guys.
Yeah.
Do we want to take a 5-minute break before questions and answers so that people could just, stretch, tell them we'll have another half hour to go for questions and answers, and if you have a question you'd rather not, share your question publicly, please leave it in the box. And that would be the time for anybody to go deposit their questions or whatever. But we could, I mean, I don't know if we'd have time to open the box right then and there, but we could say that we will take these back and at the committee we'll review them and, make anything else public or something that.
Well, it
We got
depends.
time and we can look at them.
Yeah.
Some of the questions would be better than others.
Yeah.
We can
Yeah, I mean, we
look
could,
and use our judgment to pull the
So
best
we're not
Right.
answering the question.
we could try to answer a few. Yeah,
I think we try to answer them at the meeting, especially if we need HKT's professional
right,
opinion.
okay. So maybe, but that might be an idea, just giving people a little bit of a stretch break after they've sat for a while. Just get up and don't leave, because we want to hear people's questions and, have a Q&A, but, give them the option to drop their question in box if they want to.
Yep, I think that's a good idea.
And then, as the question and answer start, we can just, somebody can grab the box and take a look through them, and if something hasn't been answered, or asked, we can throw it in.
So is the two chairs going to be answering questions for people or directing the engineering?
I think we facilitate it and direct it to the most qualified person.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking too.
The committee in itself isn't answering the questions. It has to be you two as the lead.
I envision it as someone that answers a question about the fire department, right? And I would say, well, Chief Fasoli, you probably best to answer this, right? Or if it was something relative to the land, maybe Mark, or something along those
Yeah,
lines,
right.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just,
Yeah, and I think the way we've set these meetings up before is that, we have to have the school set up the cafeteria, but usually we'd have a table up front where all of us would be, and there'd be a mic on that table as well as a stand-up mic for people to come up to. So we'd all, probably as a committee, would be sitting up
That's
to the
right.
side on the front.
That's what I'm envisioning. And then one question I was going to ask is, what about the idea of each committee member who's present introducing themselves? Or would it be better to provide the chief and me with short bios? So I want to make sure everybody's comfortable, or what everybody thinks, and whether everybody's comfortable if you decide that each person should introduce themselves.
Do we need to add that much more time to the?
yeah, that's a problem.
Short
Yeah,
bio.
it is, it
If
is,
everybody had to get up, then, you got the coming and the going. and-
oh, I just meant from the table, going
table.
down. I'm
Yeah.
Mark Darnold, I'm a civil engineer, retired, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
5 seconds, and just go down the table so the public knows the diversity of the.
Yeah. I think that would be helpful, personally. I mean, I think,
I certainly think it would. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
lot of expertise in this room. And
Yeah.
and it's diverse, like you said,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you made mention of it at the last meeting, and I thought that was an excellent idea, and rather than just naming names or
Yeah.
giving an arm sweep.
Yeah.
But again, it doesn't want to
yeah.
be long. It wants
5
to
seconds.
just march right
Yeah.
along so that it's efficient and
It might be,
informative.
one or two things that kind of highlight your background and what you bring to the committee, basically.
I'll
right?
have to think about that.
But I mean, rather than just simply saying at large, I mean, that isn't going to mean anything to anybody, right? So we really want to know, whatever.
Got it. I represent the local farmers.
I don't know, we may not have to buy for that.
All right, there we go. We'll wrestle with everybody.
But I think that would be helpful to just do and I don't think it would take long.
No.
A couple minutes.
For instance, John is a former firefighter.
Right.
Mark, mechanical systems. That's something I think that the public needs to know,
Yeah,
that
they need to
we
understand.
weren't just, it wasn't just arbitrarily chosen. It's
Yeah.
very diverse, like you said.
Yeah. And not to mention, I mean, just say who's there from historical, who's there from planning board, I mean, that's fine too. I think those that are from separate committees
Yeah, identify.
should acknowledge that, but if there's, the particular expertise, I think, technical expertise, I think is helpful to.
Well, it would be good to hear that in addition to planning board,
Correct.
Mark's background, and the same with Barry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And anybody.
Yes, exactly.
Everybody, yeah, sure.
But I think you're the only reps.
The only two committee ones? Everybody else is at one?
Well, Cindy
Cindy.
represents the seniors.
Seniors.
But Chris also is.
Historical.
Very
historical.
What's that?
Chris also is the grants, ad hoc grants committee, which is important.
And select board, so,
Select board.
yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Now, let's see, so, we need to get back to Janet and Amy about the PowerPoint. Now, that came way too late for me to have a look at, because I
Yeah,
worked right up to has anybody had a chance to review and?
Not in great detail, no?
I printed it out, that was about it. I didn't
Yeah,
review
you had it
it.
up a minute ago, Scott.
Charlie. What you got there, Charlie?
Well, I'm just figuring they're gonna be telling you about what they want changed, so this way here you can sort of fill in the blanks.
Well, I don't think have you had a chance to look at it?
I just perused through the past.
I think all of us have only
It
had
just showed
that.
up today.
Yeah,
I know,
So-
midday, yeah.
yeah. So let's take a look and see what we got here, so.
I was just looking at, I better print these because I sort of suspected we'd be writing notes on stuff. But they have in there questions they're asking us. If you go through that, you will see certain things that they,
How many slides do we have altogether in the PowerPoint?
30?
30?
Yeah.
That's a lot, but we'll see. Okay, so the first one is just the overview of what they're gonna talk about, right? That was back up there, yeah, sorry. We're gonna talk about those four things, right? All right, space needs assessment.
See a note.
So why do we have only best practices in fire station design and not police station
I
design?
think it
I
goes
think it
on.
must
Or it
keep
goes on,
going.
okay. I obviously didn't go through all this, sorry guys. So do we like this fire station one? Looks useful.
I need time to study that. I can't just sit here and look at it in
Yeah.
a 3-second interval.
Well, so they're describing their layout process, right?
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. Wouldn't it also be the size of the apparatus bays or I mean, would that be a point too? I think that's best practice, but. Well, just, I mean, talking about how small our apparatus bays are right now, but did we make these drive-through? I'm forgetting.
Yes.
Yeah, they're good.
Yes.
I don't know that,
I think this is more of a process rather than
Yeah.
a schematic of the building.
Okay.
yeah, I think so too. I
Okay.
think it's,
So here was their question to us. Need to simplify.
No, I think in Amy's email, she said the notes were for themselves, that they needed to, I think she said that we would take notice of the red markings, or the red notes that they still had to work on or something.
Right.
I don't know that they necessarily, that's what they need to do still for that.
Yeah, because that one, just looking at that chart, if I were a member of the public, and I was looking at what happened in 2014, and the police station was going to be 5,400, whatever, square feet, and now it's double the size, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, that's got to be understandable more than just that chart for sure.
I don't know why we're even looking at 2014.
Well, I think people have to understand, when they see the price tag, they're going to have to understand what changed, and we have to, I think, show them that we haven't been astronomical in adding, 15,000 more square feet. I mean, it's gone up a little bit, but it's really not gone up as much as it might have in terms of space. And we don't really know how the square feet might have been calculated the first time around, right?
And that they need to change to 125 College Highway 2. Are these pages numbered?
It's printed
it's
as
numbered.
this,
6 of 30.
At the top, it's
It's 6 of 30.
number 7.
Here we
Get
go,
rid of
the
that
slides
green
need
on
to
that
be
one.
corrected. Let's
Yes,
not-
so that would be the same changes on these maps would be, or they would be the same changes on these
Correct,
maps
right.
as on the signboards, okay.
Even if we project that on the screen, nobody's gonna read that right-hand side.
Well, and, back on the other one just for a second, Scott, sorry. The problem with the screen up at the school, the lights in the ceiling, or what the heck ever, that project on that white
Yeah,
drop-down screen,
Doesn't go very well.
those photos are gonna be so light, you're not gonna see them.
It might just help them for their own reference, though, if they
Yeah.
have to answer questions there for them.
Yeah.
We could, soon
Well-
they can explain it while they're talking.
Well, or we can actually, we can just refer to the fact that these are the same photos, by the way, that you see on the signboard number, whatever, right? So that would be, because these are, that lighting there is just difficult.
I know this is an open-ended question. We have any idea how many people are gonna show up?
Of course not.
Well, the reason I bring that up is if we have two PowerPoint projectors, I don't know how to do it, but you can slave them together and put another screen up.
No, we don't need to go that crazy. It's not what's that, but we gotta get it advertised better first. So anyway, just to say, but I think, yeah, you're right. We can just refer them, if these are difficult to see, go take a look again at the signboard number, whatever. Okay, got it. Never mind.
Can we post this on the website as well?
Well,
After the fact,
after
yes.
or before, yeah.
Yeah, I think after, maybe if anyone.
After, we certainly can.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
yep. Okay, site evaluation.
I think this depends on their narrative, just explaining the
Yeah.
process. We're not gonna go through this entire chart.
Right,
I assume they're not.
exactly. I would assume they might give a total score or something
Right.
for each of the sites, and maybe that's all they're gonna do. I don't know.
Shows that we've gone through the process.
Yeah, I think that's what we want. I mean, I think we have to show the public what we've, the level of deliberations, I guess, that we've been going
You know,
through.
that preliminary plan up there, I really don't think we should have that up there. That was a concept that went out there, but nothing ever came of it.
So that, oh,
So you think to just What are your?
The bottom one makes sense to me, and making the bottom one bigger would make sense to me. But the top one was a concept plan that never went anywhere. So why are we reinforcing something that doesn't have any legs to it?
Yeah.
Okay, so Charlie's recommended striking that?
That green parcel?
Yeah.
I think that may be confusing.
So-
That's what you guys are planning to do?
Yeah, I mean, especially if the town's looking at purchasing the whole parcel.
Right.
That night?
Yeah,
The week
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I'll just slash that and,
Back on the 204 and 210 one, is that the one right above it? So what was the test fit one? I'm sorry, is that, oh, there you go. I'm in the wrong slide maybe. Right after the matrix, okay, so that's the one, okay. Never mind, that's where we are now.
Where are we at?
Yeah, that's the 210
Is
College
that-
Highway.
They're just explaining why we didn't pick that site.
But, so I guess I was looking at the language that was there, that first bullet. Hang on. I'll look at it on my computer too. So the first bullet, 1.2 acre and 7.5 acre parcel owned by the town. What are we talking about?
well, they've got the two parcels defined there.
What, are they talking about the current fire station?
I think they're talking about
Or
the town hall and the fire station. That looks like a total landmass there.
Yeah, I mean,
And you're not gonna build where the town hall is.
I just didn't understand it. What I'm looking at here, sorry.
Well, the town hall is here, but don't you think the 1.2 is up in the upper left-hand corner?
That's what I was,
I don't think it's that large.
No, here it says it's 0.68 acres.
But don't you think that's what they're referring to? Because they've got, that's the way the map is drawn, two different parcels.
I know, but I don't think that's what they're referring to.
Oh, what do you think? What do you think then?
I think they're looking at the old Miles property, how that got tied into the other parcel.
6.8, 0.68 would probably comes up to their 7 point something
Yeah.
acres.
Oh, okay.
And then there's another 1.2 that we're not sure.
Well, they haven't got that on the map.
I know they don't. And I think what they're doing is they're saying one thing and using a map from
Yeah,
something else.
so maybe if they're gonna use the 1.2 and the 7.5, then they just have to color code something and draw the line or something more clearly on the map, what they're talking about, I think that's all.
But it's misleading when it says 7.5 because that also includes where the town hall is.
Well, that's what I kind of wondered if it didn't, that was my question.
I think it's the lot in the back, separate than the lot in the front.
That small parcel up front's about a half an acre.
So if you scoot in on the map, right behind the trailer, they've got 6.8 acres.
0.68.
Or,
Yeah, looks
No,
like 6.
6.8.
6.8.
Oh, 6.8, yes, right.
Right
That's
there.
the parcel.
so there's that, and then,
I think it was
But
0.6.
that's the entire parcel. That's not behind the fire station.
Right.
I know because I spent 2 years putting all those 12 deeds together to put one deed together for that parcel.
anyway, so either something has to be more clearly outlined on the map, or the acreage in bullet 1 needs to be just,
With the elevation lines though, do you think that maybe this is just an example of showing why it couldn't be put there because of the elevation?
Right.
Well, people that can read the elevation map would realize that that's not a good place to go.
yeah, I mean, that,
Right, I'm just wondering if this is just a frame of reference for them. I don't know, I'm just
Yeah.
thinking out loud.
well, they put it in that third or fourth bullet down on sloping and terraced terrain, but I guess I was just confused as to the two parcels owned by the town, what they were,
Yeah, I don't know where
I mean-
1.2 came from.
we all kind of, I consider the property behind the fire station is one parcel, so I don't,
How big's the whole town hall property?
I mean, if they just simply wrote 8 plus or minus acres of parcel owned by the town would be, that's all they need to say.
it's just a little confusing, I think, that's all. But, whatever.
And if it is the Miles property that they're referring to as 1.2 acres, is that important to have on?
No, because it's not usable.
Right, so it needs to be confirmed that that's what they are referring to, and then,
But wouldn't it be just simple enough to drop that 1.5 period and just say 8 plus or minus acre? Because it's just a general slide, it's not like,
Not a stamp survey.
huh?
It's not a stamp survey plan, we're just, yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
probably approximately 8 acres, right?
Yeah, done. It's just-
everybody in agreement with that?
Wait, when we bought the land behind the fire station, how many acres was it?
I think it was a half an acre.
Oh.
No, seriously, because all we were looking for was enough land to put a septic system in. That was it.
I mean, it's labeled here in that secretary part, 0.68 wouldn't burn it out. So if we do just approximately 8 acre parcels,
Yeah,
and we're not gonna spend the entire day talking about that.
yeah, plus
Right.
it includes the
No,
town
they're gonna-
hall already.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like, you know, you could,
What did we want to change that to?
Approximately 8 acres, 8-acre parcel owned by the town of Southampton. All right, can we move on? And so on next one, 2 pages, or 2 slides later, we're striking the mixed-use development plan.
yeah,
Yeah.
get that out of there.
The second bullet on that, right, says under preliminary design and permitting for potential mixed-use development. Okay.
Yeah, I'd take that out.
Town relies on town improvement of parks and village mixed-use development and donation of lot.
Okay, so strike that.
That would give you more room to blow up the other picture.
Got that, Chief?
Yeah, I think our total acreage there is, again, the addition of 2.27 acre parcel, acquisition required.
Oh, yeah, that's inaccurate.
Right. So additional,
It's now 48,000 square feet, so what is that, 1.6 acres?
No, no, what's it?
1.2, I mean, 1.2.
43,560. How many square feet?
48.
Acre and a quarter.
Approximately.
Yeah, well, the plus and minus at the other end of it makes it help.
1.1.
Okay, so additional 1.1 acre parcel.
and I think the total 41.5 isn't totally right either, is it, Scott? Isn't that more like 50 something?
I'd have to, yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
closer to that. We have the thing in, so we'll double
Yeah.
check that.
So within a plus or minus 54 acre parcel or something,
Does that include what's on the side of Greenway?
what the whole 54 would be, but I don't know what they're.
Well, we'll question that. Do you have that one, Chief?
No, I don't.
Okay, so first bullet.
Yep.
4.3 acre parcel within the plus or minus 54 acre parcel.
Okay.
And then if that's what we're doing, then they have these 2 legends on there, dark purple and light purple. What's that referring
It
to?
looks like it's referring to the 41 acres, you know?
Yeah, it's, I'm confused. If I'm confused, someone else will be confused.
And they don't have the 41 acres.
I think they're talking about 4.1 acre disregarding the dark purple.
Right.
And then the additional 2, or it should be 1.1 acre acquisition required with the light purple.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
the 4.0, the 41.5 acres sort of using.
You should highlight the,
I mean, that's what their intent was, is to highlight the
highlight the
4.03, highlight that 2.2, but
highlight the 41 with like an outline. Because,
that'd be a third number.
well, they got the commercial up there with it, which is highlighted, and
A
that's.
different color, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
If you scroll down a couple more slides, they show the actual lot.
Yeah.
but back
but
up,
nowhere is it situated within the full parcel.
No.
Yeah, it says committee, please check wording regarding donation purchase.
yeah, so that's a whole other thing. But back up to the other one where we were, they've also drawn in the red roadway, which is not gonna be real, right?
Where,
Well, the red is on that, just zoom on that a little bit, Scott, please.
That's the proposed roadway.
Future roadway, but that's, that would be for the development part, it's not
Okay,
our
so-
part of our line.
So eliminate that.
Ours should be the light purple, right? What we're talking about for our
The dark
access.
purple is donated, the light purple for purchase.
I think light purple, yeah, light purple, I guess, is the purchase, and dark purple would be the
Donate.
donated parcel. But that red roadway is not to be included, I don't think.
Nope,
Because people will say, why don't you use the roadway?
Right.
because it's a dream at this point.
Yeah.
Or should they show the commercial sense?
Well, it's zoned commercial, so
Yeah.
that can stay that way, but the road doesn't exist, it's not even,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, so eliminate, they should eliminate the red dotted line and
Correct.
future roadway, leave commercial parcel, but in that map, you cannot outline the full parcel to place this within the full parcel.
Right.
No.
So with the elimination of the green thing right above it, does that allow them then, do we want them to make this yellow and Easter egg one, do we want it to be bigger so it would show the entire parcel? Is that what we want them to do, or?
I'd like to see it bigger. But I don't see the necessity of showing the entire parcel. I think the picture should be bigger, but I don't see the reason to include any more of the parcel.
Well, I was thinking only to locate where our site is within the larger parcel.
At the moment.
I don't, information.
Well, I mean, my argument to that is showing Lynn Drive, showing Cumbies and all the rest of that would give people a better handle of where it is. Showing in the backland that nobody traverses doesn't refer to anything.
I mean,
Well, I guess the commercial zone actually shows where it is, shows College Highway on this map and where the commercial
Commercials
zone.
and farms.
I'm not sure they're gonna spend a lot of time on this slide though,
No.
because, 30 slides, not a
Right.
minute,
Yeah, they got about
so.
30 seconds to
Yeah.
slide.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Again,
and this is what we're looking at as an option. It may or may not be our final
that's exactly right.
placement, right? So I think we shouldn't dwell on it
Too much.
No,
too much.
but we will still ask them to eliminate the dotted
Correct.
future highway, roadway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
On-
we don't want people thinking
onward,
the driveway that doesn't
please.
exist.
Okay. Not understanding their part in blue here, wait a minute. Option 2 was preferred.
Yeah, they had the roadway in that top.
I think what they're trying to say is we had to go to option 2. Remember, we had option 1. Option 2 included the additional purchase of the commercial
Yes.
land. So that's referring to the additional purchase of the commercial land, which is larger than the parcel offered for donation.
The future road is referred to in that, but maybe that doesn't need to be, maybe that's all right to leave there.
Well, it's the current owner of the site,
Yes,
right?
correct.
So
I think that's
correct.
fine. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, the notion was option 2 is preferred, as it provides direct access to College Highway, rather than having a landlocked parcel.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, we think the donation just doesn't have any access.
I mean, to avoid having, option 2 is preferred, as it provides direct access, and to avoid having a landlocked parcel, or something like that. I think we just,
This is gonna be a quick.
yeah, the less we talk about whatever the future development might or might have not been, I think it's just gonna confuse people. I think we just have to focus on our,
Okay, so strike onto future road and just say to avoid landlocked parcel. I mean,
or to provide access, direct access to College
College
Highway
Highway.
and an otherwise landlocked parcel.
for an otherwise.
Yeah. Something like that. Maybe.
Okay.
So again, the third bullet in terms of the total acreage, you want to change that again?
An approximate 54, right? Plus minus.
Yeah. And they've got the acreage accurate on that, 1.14.
Right.
Again, I think what's just confusing there is by using those other, is that the map that has the roadway on that one? I can't see the purple and green one.
It does, it has proposed
Yeah.
roadways.
I think we just have to explain that.
Yeah. That this was
Early concepts.
their early concept by the landowners or something. Yeah.
Okay, so committee, check wording for donation purchase. Are we good? We gotta change that to 125 again. I guess they're asking if the third and fourth bullet points are how we want, whether we're okay with that as written? To be donated, to be purchased?
Do we want to put the last Mass DOT may have curb cut access requirements? Is that necessary to even say it? Because then it throws doubt into the proposal.
Yeah, we can just get rid of that one, right? The bottom one.
The whole bullet point?
Yeah, the bottom one, I think that's.
Strike that, strike
I would-
bullet
Right.
3, okay. All right.
That talks about why we went with one instead of 2 stories.
Yeah, I think they can address that pretty well.
Right.
And the bottom line is the bottom line, option one is the lower cost option.
It's cheaper.
Square footage, elimination of stairs, elevator, yeah. Ian, I don't know what you want to say about the freestanding shooting range?
I think that should be eliminated. It's an additional $500,000 that I don't think is necessary. It's not cost effective, and
So it's the previous slide, point 3. Both options include freestanding carports, that's true, but just end it there.
I don't think we should have the freestanding carports either. That's additional money that I don't think, with the potential of how expensive this is gonna be, I don't think that that's a good idea.
Yeah,
That could be, and you can always add those.
yeah.
Right.
But she's saying two options presented. This was,
Mhm.
Yeah, they presented them.
they did present
Yeah,
them.
so we can have this as these are things that we've been considering. This isn't gonna be our final thought. I mean,
Well, it would also be informative to the public to let them know that we've eliminated them for cost
Right.
reasons. They were presented to us and we have struck them.
They are
Yes.
in the actual cost,
They are.
in the cost estimate, and I think that's part of the slide, so they have.
But we could have them pull them out and just make that in parentheses or something at the bottom of the slide. If carports and freestanding range or whatever were included, it would equal this amount more. You know,
Yeah,
we could
that's
set
right.
slides, yeah.
The 2 carports and the shooting range are like $2 million.
Right, so when we get to that slide, I think we can just rearrange that slide maybe. But I think it's probably okay to leave them here.
Yeah, they made room for it in a concept
did.
plan. That
Yeah,
doesn't
they did.
necessarily
Right.
mean that-
Yeah. You could add the word considered or something if you wanted to add something after shooting range, but I mean, other than that, it is what they talked to us about.
Give me a presentation.
Shooting range helps shield neighborhood. That sounds wrong.
Preferred site development. Yeah.
Well, do you want to just eliminate that bullet that, of the carport and shooting range would help shield the neighborhood? Again, that was a selling point,
I think the word considered that Chris used is a good,
considered carport.
for the other slide as well.
Uh-huh.
So for both.
Put in the word considered on.
Yes,
the-
consider on both of those first. So any reference to carport and shooting range should have some reference to considered next to it. Because I think personally, I believe that we can reduce the costs without those significantly. That shooting range was $500,000.
You would take out the word help shield neighborhood, just put optional carport shooting range considered.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
There you go, that would do it.
And then, like you said, then if we remove them, the committee says, yeah, let's remove them, we can show that we're being cost
Plan for the
effective.
future.
Yeah.
We looked at them.
On the second point, what's this possible secondary entry? Where am I looking on that? Sorry. On that, yeah,
Yeah, that was access to the proposed road, if it ever goes in.
I would take that out because we don't know what's going on with that road.
I don't,
I think that means we have 2 driveways coming up. One's for emergency vehicles, one's for public.
all right, so they put kind of a median down the middle there, is that what
Yes.
those, that little?
Yes,
road-
both of those are 2-way roads.
Okay,
Oh, they are.
Yeah, one's for strictly for fire apparatus, the other one
is for general
police.
public and whatever?
Public.
Okay, that one just wasn't clear in my head, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
good.
mean, that's concept plan.
Okay. All right, yeah, I think just changing that next to the last bullet, like you said, that will help.
Yep, so the way it's written is optional carport and shooting range considered.
Yeah.
that one is fairly clear. Do they need to describe the green zones at all in terms of what those are? That's the shared space, or?
I think you can,
They can do that verbally.
Yeah.
Could someone just, Scott, by any chance, can you just go down one more slide? I'm curious as to what is, no, up, I'm sorry. Right there. What is this?
Mezzanine.
That's the mezzanine.
that's a mezzanine.
Okay,
Inside the Emperor's Bay,
yeah,
it's like a second story on one side of the building.
okay.
Walkway.
Right, because
elevated walkway.
the apparatus bays are so tall.
Oh, I
just
follow you.
open space up
Okay,
there.
all right.
It's Rich's private office.
That's a good one to me.
I personally am having a hard time visualizing it out there. It just, you know,
What, option one, you mean?
no, just, you know, just to visualize it out on the land out there. It's been a hayfield.
Oh.
It's like,
Okay, so we're on,
Do you think it should be made clear that this is conceptual and not the final design
I
too?
think that's HKT's responsibility too.
Do you think they will?
Everyone's
Okay.
responsibility, I think.
All right.
sorry, so just back on the HVAC. They're not talking at all about the 2 or 3 options that we had talked about, are they? They're saying that it will be done during the next phase, but didn't we want to say something about the
Well,
couple,
they have
the couple of options that we were looking at least, or?
right, they got that slide coming up.
Oh, is it? Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
And it does say 3 systems often used, cost estimates for.
Okay. Just felt like that was kind of a slide hanging out there. Okay. So, green design, okay, project cost.
this was all in the the PowerPoint that they gave to us last time.
I would like to see if the committee wants to eliminate carport 1, 2, and 3, and then actually on this slide say that if we do so choose to do so, that we chose to eliminate those to reduce costs.
How about if we have them strike a line through it?
It all depends, I mean, does the committee want to vote on eliminating those? I think we should have a vote on that. Or just something, I think we should discuss it, because me personally,
$2 million.
that's $2 million. I do that, those are, as far as I'm concerned, the shooting range, that's something that is not cost effective. We could go to the local outdoor shooting range for $1,000 a year.
So I move to eliminate with a notation that.
I don't know what kind of
eliminated.
carport they got for $420,000.
The hell of a carport.
Yeah.
Those are all options that we could put up at a later
A
date.
suggestion, why don't we, with the public safety building and site, let's put that 27,398, in the subtotal column as well, as a bold in the subcolumn. Have them make another line saying options, and then under that, carport 1, carport 2.
Something to separate it,
Or the shooting, so that below the total of the public safety building of 27, just make another cross line, just saying options, carport 1, carport 2, shooting range, and then total those up as a subtotal, and then that will be clear for people that those haven't been added into the current price, or options,
We're sort of adding alternates.
or something, somewhere.
Or,
But if we eliminate them tonight, then
It will be important to show
then we can say we saved $2 million by eliminating.
Yeah, I could just say that, the committee's recommendation, right now, anyway, is to eliminate these 3 things.
or perhaps, it's, do what Charlie said, just put a red line across each one of those, and then in the subtotal category, just put, a notation committee decided to eliminate, and then reduce that now to 27,398,326.
I think it would be good to show that we have eliminated those
Right.
extra expenses. So lines through it makes sense to me.
And I would just simply say removed. I wouldn't say committee voted or anything, just removed.
Yeah.
Because that verbally can be said during the presentation.
Okay, so,
I agree with you, Ian. We don't want to spend money like $400,000 on a carport. I don't know how I could stand there and tell people that, it's a deal.
It's a hell of a curve.
1.5 million for carport.
That's a hell of a carport.
3 cars is a half a million.
Are we
They-
voting to eliminate those items?
Somebody did make that motion.
Nobody seconded it.
wait, so do we have a
So we have
second?
2 options, one of them just park it through, or we can have them eliminate and redo all the numbers, or we can put them as, add alternates, like we have add alternates for the,
I would say, I think it would be visually more impactful if we did what Charlie said, we put a red line through here, 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 we put removed here, and then we take this number and put that number there.
right,
Sounds good.
right.
That's motion.
So okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
We need to get him to be able to draw straight. He's trying.
Ian's right there.
Big fingers.
It's like when they make you sign stuff with the big felt. It's like, really?
Okay, so, onward.
So now we're at the green design, okay.
I think they can just step through these.
That's why I just felt like that HVAC slide was out of order or something to me, but maybe I'm just reading it wrong. All that sort of green design, I guess, right, so.
Well, the HVAC was for the heating system, whether it was green or not. And this is green designs. So you just think,
But
the sequence isn't correct.
Well, just not clear, if we were gonna even mention that we're looking at geothermal somewhere, I haven't seen that word, or did I miss it?
It's up there, it's
That's groundwater source.
groundwater source.
Right.
It's
Item 2,
geothermal.
groundwater source.
Well, the slide is there to open discussion. In my mind,
That's fine.
I can't believe we won't through it.
Essentially, there's 3 HVAC options.
So those are not included into the 27 million on the previous page then?
No, they're not.
No.
No, you all be add-ons. If we, yeah.
One of them results in lower purchase.
Right, one, if we chose one, it's a little bit lower price, so like we're including a little bit better HVAC in the base bid. We want the cheapest of them, what's the cheapest of them, we'd save $150,000. So there's 3 HVAC systems. One we required, the cheaper one, which is not very high quality, and the groundwater, which would cost us $2 million.
So that figure is based, the total cost is based on item number 1, correct? That's what they use for the figure, correct?
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
So by eliminating the carport in the shooting range, we could put in the geothermal. For $2 million, right?
The money.
That's our trade-off, right?
And this is because things have changed. Is the next step town meeting? Or I guess it is February, fall town meeting, right?
It will be fall.
Well,
Annual, yeah.
there's the annual one in May, still happening.
Right, but that's not, we're going to be discussing this, are we?
No.
Land
That's
purchase.
true.
No, I don't know if they need to.
It'll be a town meeting.
Yeah.
So we're not doing any land purchase at the...
We're really not doing anything regarding the public safety complex in the town, and annual town meeting.
Annual, that's correct.
Wait a minute. Well, depending on the appraisal, we may end up...
Property.
You may buy the
Property
entire parcel.
acquisition.
You're right.
But that's got nothing
Right.
to do with.
Right, but that would be, yeah, that... with a
The
little
committee withdrew
Correct.
the articles
From the committee
from the
level,
warrant.
but
Yeah,
with a little
that's
luck.
correct.
The acquisition of property would
Right.
still be on the May town meeting.
Yes.
That's correct.
And that'll play out until we go afterwards.
Yeah, no, I think that's good.
Okay, so it's nearing 2 hours. Are we good with these edits to propose and move on to whatever else we need to accomplish tonight? Okay. Thank you, Scott.
Are we done enough with the FAQ that we can put them up on the website? Did we finalize those? Or we...
Cindy sent the latest
Okay.
draft, and that would be another question for us. Are we good with having them put up? There was a question as to whether they'd go to HKT for their input.
I
Now,
think they should.
I thought we were going to send it to them last time just for their FYI.
Yeah, I think they want to see everything that we've been trying to
Yeah.
work.
right, but I have not done so.
No,
You
I'm
didn't
pretty
either.
sure I did. I sent in the facts.
Yeah, I think it's just for their information. They weren't going to
Okay, so,
present it.
So the latest version is the one Cindy would have sent since the last meeting, is that right? Because I'm the one updating the website, so I just want to be sure that I'm putting up the right one.
oh, I don't think I sent it
What are you referring to?
to the frequently asked questions. I sent some stuff to HKT
I
after the
believe
last
I
meeting.
did. Let me just-
Yeah, you did. We confirmed that some things were sent. You sent them, but I don't know that the frequently asked questions were sent.
Okay, Cindy sent around an updated FAQ on the 21st of March. Is that the latest for that?
That would be because we didn't address it at the 28th,
Okay.
or whenever we last
Yeah,
met,
it says
the
at the top.
26th.
Draft of March 25th is what it says at the top of it, so,
And we had the meeting on the 26th. Our last meeting was the 26th. So that would be the latest.
so this would be the one that I could put up on the website. It's got 16 FAQs on it now.
Yeah. And so that was sent out on when was it sent out?
From Cindy on the 21st, along with the minutes of the 3/18 meeting.
Chris, could you just send that off to me again?
Yeah.
Forward it again.
Just you?
And no, and to the chief. We'll be sure to get it to
I
him.
have a note on those. A while back, I sent the fax to them. That was back on, we had a meeting on 12/27 that said send fax to HKT. So I must have done it way back then.
Okay, so we'll send
Not
them.
the current one, there hasn't been anything current, I think.
Okay,
Okay, so we can probably put this one up on the website.
I think so. I think we can't try to refine them anymore.
Right. And I think we were talking about maybe having this for the April meeting as a handout?
As a handout.
So that's one more thing to get printed. It's about a 3-pager, so double-sided, but,
And can that be done here, or would we go
Yeah.
elsewhere?
we can do those here,
Okay.
town function. How many copies do you think? What do you think? 100 copies? 150 copies? 100? 100?
I think 100 would be good. I mean, if we had 100,
Yeah,
think
okay,
that's
let's start
aiming
with
high.
100. Okay.
Oh, I don't. I think we're gonna have a good time.
You think so?
I
Yeah,
do.
well, people can share. We try not to waste paper.
And they can certainly access them on the town website, so.
Yes, correct, yeah.
Yeah.
And I will be working on, for what it's worth, I'm working on the 3rd quiz. I haven't gotten there yet. I'm trying to get one done in the next couple of days, but we'll see. For what it's worth.
Okay, so,
The other thing is the flyer, I guess, right? That's the only other.
Yeah, I reached out to Valley Marketing, and they're not ready to get that out by this week or next week.
Well,
So
we want the flyer more for when we're gonna actually go in town.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's less urgent now, I
Right,
think, than it
right.
was, so.
But it wouldn't, in case we wanted to go out before this forum, it won't be done by
Yeah.
then.
right,
Okay.
okay. Okay, so here we are. We've gone through what's going to be presented. After a brief introduction, as I mentioned last time, the chief and I will host, and after a brief introduction, we'll just move right on to the video, then HKT, and then 5-minute break, and the rest of the time will be fielding questions. Any other aspect?
Let me write that outline down so we can maybe, you and I'll print something up for us so we can go by it, all right?
Sure.
So let's go over that again?
Introduction, with a little bit of background of when the committee was formed. HKT is, I think, going to describe the step-by-step process, but they didn't come in until after we had started the assessment of sites, the research for sites. So a bit of background, then move right on to the film, the video. HKT presentation. 5-minute break.
So people can put in written questions.
Right. And then the question and answer session for the duration. And it will be noted that there will be at least one more public forum, correct? Are we in agreement that we will be sure to offer yet another?
Between now and hall, I would think so.
Yeah.
I would think so.
Yeah, a couple of weeks before the town meeting that we're actually getting the votes.
Do we, now that we've digested all of this, do you think it would be a good idea to meet briefly next Monday at our usual time to just consolidate a little further, or do you think an hour before, the time before the actual public forum will be for setting up? I don't think there's going to be much time to meet and discuss. Agreed?
I mean, usually the school, we just have to charge the school with setting out the benches, right? I mean, we don't do that ourselves.
We don't do that, I don't believe so.
I think the
In
custodian will
past,
do it, we just have to
yeah.
let Mickey know to,
The
or
design,
somebody.
yeah. Of How many?
Yeah.
But we've got to set up signboards, get pencils, and, you know, there are a few things to do. I'm asking rather than stating.
Yes, there's going to be some setup.
Yeah, a bit of setup. So the question is, do we want to, should I schedule the meeting for next Monday, however brief it might be? It seems to me that, you know, we're just compiling everything now, and that to sort of refine, or even in our minds, bring it to a kind of a refined state, it might not be a bad idea just to meet again.
We could stick it to an hour, maybe, the most.
Well, would that be nice?
I think we can.
We should be able to. I mean, we've gone through a lot today. I think today was.
And maybe
very
even just
helpful.
come up with a schematic on how we're gonna put the tables and where we're gonna put all the signs, just so we know in advance, so on the 10th, we're not like, well, where do we want this, where do we want that?
Yeah.
If
That's
we
a
come
good
up with
idea.
something, like, you know, some sort of a legend for our floor plan, I think
Yeah.
to discuss that in advance is important, because otherwise, I don't wanna be running around, you know, we're asking where we should put this
Houses.
stuff. Right.
All right, so I'll schedule for, may we do it at 4:30? 4 is hard for me. 4:30 for 1 hour, April 8th.
Yep.
So the pictures of the mother sign out there, we can put that like on our Facebook page?
Yes, by all means, yep. Yep.
Should I put the questions we had too on there?
Which ones? The,
Those questions that we just,
oh, the FAQ?
yeah. Or maybe just a link to the town
Probably a
page.
link. Let me put them up on the public safety page on the website.
Right.
Then you guys could individually just link to that. I really want to
Okay.
keep people focusing on the public safety page itself. If you hadn't had a chance, Scott sent around 2 or 3 video or websites from other towns, and I haven't had a chance to
Thank
really
you,
study them,
Scott. I
but
have-
they were just really very informative. And one of them had a nice timeline in particular. That's the kind of thing I'd like to see us sort of, develop to put on the website at some point.
Okay.
So I think that would be helpful to do that. So let's kind of keep focusing everybody toward the website page of the Public Safety Building Committee, and then do whatever you need to do on Facebook by all means, but that would be helpful. So I think a link would be good.
Moving on to other business, Scott, do you have something to offer us regarding the appraisal or not?
Yeah, we should talk about that afterwards. Yeah.
Okay. And, all right, so any other business? And we have scheduled our next meeting, so may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We have adjourned at 6:10.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.